What are you doing with that? Oh, there's not much left of that. Use it sparingly.
Jonas? Jonas! Jackie's dead. What happened to him? What's that? It's the antidote. We can make it ourselves. That's it. Let's take it to my father. Nothing's happening. You don't think we're too late, do you?
Master Jack, King Minion wishes to speak with you now. He's in his chamber with Princess Shella and the druid Alanon.
Jack, come in. I must thank you for saving my life. Shella told me everything. After all the times I got your father out of trouble, you turned around and saved me. Tell Shay about that when you get home.
Jack isn't going home from here. He needs to go to Tircis to get the Sword of Shannara.
The Sword of Shannara? Alanon, you don't mean to send this boy after Brona?
Jack is about the same age you and Shay were when the two of you journeyed to face the Warlock Lord.
But we were young fools with no thought of danger. You need experienced adventurers like Shay and myself for such a dangerous mission.
Shay needs to defend Shady Vale, and you need to protect your kingdom. You are no longer a heedless young prince. You are a king, and you have your duties. Jack must go to Tircis and warn King Balinor. I must go to the Valley of Shale and speak with the Shade of Bremen. I will meet Jack in Tircis.
You don't mean to send Jack off by himself?
I'll go with him.
No!
Father, Jack and I have already proven that we make a good team. We got here safely through all those monsters, and we made an antidote for your poison. Besides, when you trained me, you said I was almost as good with a bow as you were.
No, I will not allow you to go. This isn't some jaunt in the forest. It's a perilous and deadly mission.
If Shella is indeed as good as you were, Jack will need her help.
No, Alanon. She is my daughter, and I will not lose her. I will send my best soldiers.
Father, please.
Shella, you will not go.
Then you will all excuse me. Jack, I'll see you later.
You need to warn Balinor that the Warlock Lord has returned. Furthermore, you will need to claim your elvish birthright as heir to the Sword of Shannara. You must face and destroy Brona forever. Shay did destroy the Warlock Lord. However, some awful magic has summoned him from the dead. How this was done, I do not know, but I will find out. Only a descendant of the House of Shannara can use the sword, and you and your father are the only heirs who yet live. Brona has knowledge of all the ancient magics. He will use this power to dominate the world. Many creatures will follow his lead gladly, hoping to destroy forever the races of dwarf and elf and man. Now, because he is a creature of death, he has command of the dead as well. They rise from their graves to follow his command. The Dark Lord desires revenge, and he will destroy everything to gain it. The Sword of Shannara destroyed Brona before, and it is the only thing he fears. It lies in a vault in Tirsus, where your father left it to stand as a symbol of peace and freedom. You must take the sword of Shannara and guarantee that promise once more. You are a child no longer, and no one needs hold your hand. I have things that I must do, things I must learn. Take someone you can trust to aid you. Avoid any encounters that you can, and you should have no problem reaching Tirsus without me. I must go my own way. There is a road from Lee which leads directly to Tirsus. It is a journey of several days.
You are welcome to anything you need from my supplies, Jack. I'll assign some people to go with you after I speak a while with Elenon.
Use your own knowledge and judgment in what you do. Those are your greatest tools and strongest weapons. Farewell, Jack, and good luck.
I will be, thanks to you. My guards will help you to get to Tirsus. You need to leave as soon as possible. Tomorrow morning I will make arrangements for your journey.
Thank you for your aid in restoring our king. Lee's monarch still reigns because of you. Princess Shella left the mansion a few minutes ago. She seemed rather upset.
Jack, there's no way I'm gonna let you go off into danger without me. You're gonna need my help. Thomas, we need to get outside the gates.
I'm sorry, Princess Shella. My orders are that no one leaves Lee right now.
Jack has to leave. It's critical.
I can't let anyone out without command of King Menion. I'm sorry, I have my orders. Then King Menion will let my captain know, and he'll tell me to let you out. I'm not allowed to let anyone leave. There are monsters out there. Farewell.
Now what? Even you can't leave now. We've got to figure out some way to get out of here. Well, there's a secret passage out of the mansion somewhere. I read about it when I was a child. Here, take my locket. Go to the main hall, show Winston the locket, and tell him to meet me in the library. See if you can find the entrance to the secret passage. I'll get some equipment and meet you as soon as I can. See you later.
May I inquire why you have this, sir? Very good, sir.
Jack, you did it. I've got the supplies. So that's why my locket was so important. It opens the secret passage. Let's get out of here before my father finds out. I know where we are from here. Let's go. I recognize this area. The road to Tirsus is west of here. We can follow it all the way there. The ferry crosses the river near here. It's the only way to ford the Rappahalladron at this point. What are you doing here?
Waiting for the ferry. Fools! In the name of my master, Brona, I will destroy you both. Attack! Destroy them both.
Take that, bastard!
When we meet again, you will die.
He just disappeared. You've got it. Now let's fix this ferry. That's an easy shot for me. There! Jack! Monsters, they're coming out from the woods! Hurry! At least that should slow down Brona's monsters. We can send someone from Tircis to fix it later. The road to Tircis leads northward, then cuts east as we climb up the hills to Tircis. The road to the west leads to Kern, where my mother grew up. The north road leads up to the mountain area to the fortress of Tircis. Look up there on the cliffside. You can see the fortress walls. We'll be there by dark. They've seen us! Run! What's going on here? Those aren't people. They're corpses. Walking corpses are trying to get into Tyrsis. Guard! Guard!
Who's out there? Announce yourself!
Princess Shella of Lee and Jack Ohmsford.
Well, your highnesses, you better go find some safe place to hide. You can't get in here while these monsters are around.
What should we do? We can't just stand here waiting for dawn. The monsters will catch up to us. We've got to get into the city. At least this path is wide enough to avoid the corpses. Finally, a place with no walking corpses. It smells so much better here. Smoky, but better. Hello? Can you help us?
Go away!
Look, we're tired, we're cold, and all we want to do is sit by your fire for a while.
Just a minute. Why are you here? You're late. Monster's been here for weeks now. Brona back? How do you know?
Alanon told us.
Alanon, eh? He should know. Bad news. Very bad. You talked to the guard? Sounds like him. Don't know. Haven't been bothered lately. Used to have to fix the hut every morning after they got through with it at night. Mostly, I avoid them. No thanks.
Why not? You're helping us by sharing your hut. The least we can do is share some food. This stew is great. What did you use to flavor it so?
Laurel smoke adds a lot.
Laurel? Isn't laurel supposed to drive away evil?
Could be. Now that you mention it, haven't noticed the walking corpses around here since I started burning it. Since I started burning it, I don't think I've been bothered by the corpses. Sorry, I'm out. I think there's a laurel bush on the other side of the castle. The dwarves of Cullhaven sent me to get back Hendel's mace. You bring me some laurel, I'll make you a torch. You find some wood?
We didn't find any.
Try looking at the far west side of the wall. Pretty bush if I remember right.
Okay, we'll try that. Those corpses seem to be all around the city. Looks like the cliff's too steep to go any further. We don't want to get any closer to those corpses. There, that should do it.
You find some wood? I'll use these branches to make a torch. You can use it to drive off the walking corpses and get into the city.
Why don't you come with us?
Can't get past the gate.
Why not?
Guard won't let me in.
We'll try to talk him into it. Besides, if this doesn't work, we could use your help.
All right, here's the torch. Let's go.
Yes! That did it! Hey, guard!
What is it now? What? How? Well, what do you know? The debtors are gone. Sure. Hey, who's that with you?
It's our friend, Brendel.
We don't allow dwarves in Tyrsis. We don't need no non-human scum here.
No. Clearly there's enough human scum here already.
Oh, right. The king and queen of Lee come to call on King Balinor in the middle of the night with a dwarf. Sure.
I am Princess Shella of Lee.
Oh, pleased to meet you, your highness. Yeah, and her highness's father is the king of Tyrsis. Well, you can have a dwarf for a friend. You just can't bring him into Tyrsis. The debtors come out at night, and the gate is shut. That's the way it's been for weeks now. Yeah, take your time. I ain't going nowhere.
You can see for yourself. It's important these two see the king. Open the gates.
I told you, no dwarfs!
Figured this would happen. Hey, guard, you gonna let us in?
Go away!
You two go in. I'll go back to my hut.
No. We said we'd get you into the city.
Look, it's late. I need some sleep. Maybe I'll see you again sometime.
Yes. I'm sure he'll do something about this.
It's an idea.
It's not fair. If Brendel can't get in, we shouldn't either.
There's no room in my hut for you, so go into the city. I'll be okay.
Jack, Brendel, can't we work this out?
Some other time, maybe. So, guard, you gonna let these two in or not?
No, N-O, no dwarfs!
They aren't dwarves.
Okay, you two. In. Dwarf, you try anything, I'll put a crossbow bolt into you quicker than I can look over the top of you.
Goodbye, for now, Brendel.
Bye. Oh, yeah, and thanks for trying.
You wish to see King Balinor Buchanan? I'm afraid the king is far too busy to see just anyone who wanders into Tyrsis in the dead of night without proper escort or writ of passage. You two may not have noticed, but Tyrsis is in a state of emergency. If you'll declare your business, I will judge if it is of sufficient value to disturb His Majesty. The druid Alanon sent you? No one has seen him since the war. Years past.
We saw him in Lee when he spoke to my father.
Oh yes, your father. I believe you said that your father was king of Lee?
My father is the king of Lee.
So you claim. Again? What is this, the third or the fourth time? You think he'd be bored with it by now. Claim the sword of Shannara? Who do you think you are? The one true king? Shay Olmsford's son, come to claim his elvish heritage? My, aren't we privileged by your presence? Well, if your father destroyed the Warlock Lord, it seems a bit odd that you need the sword to destroy him again. And, as I understand it, you intend to take it back. I suppose one needs to expect such things from those with elvish blood. Oh, I'm certain he would be as amused by your stories as I am, but he's much too busy to be disturbed by half-breeds and wandering princesses at the moment.
Without losing my temper? I'll try. Look, I am Princess Shella of Lee, and I need to speak with King Balinor.
And how is your esteemed father, dear? Odd that he would send his only daughter out, without an escort, into such a dangerous world as you describe.
Jack, I believe the answer to your question is no. We can't see the king until we convince the seneschal. Obviously, he isn't totally skeptical, or he wouldn't be talking to us. I don't think we can convince him with words. He just twists them against us.
The insignia of the House of Lee? I presume this is yours, Princess Shella.
No, I stole it.
Very humorous. However, I will make the proper arrangements, and perhaps the king will be able to see you sometime later.
It's critical that we see him as soon as possible.
I will so inform His Majesty.
So Brona is behind this rising of the dead. When Shay destroyed him long ago, we hoped the Warlock Lord was gone forever. Each night, for weeks now, the risen dead roam the streets of Tyrsis, attacking everything. The Border Legion defends the weaker sections, but much of the city is still overrun. When a guard dies in battle, he rises again as a walking corpse, and our guards must fight the bodies of fallen comrades. It seems hopeless. Thanks to you, we can drive them off with Laurelwood, but that's a temporary solution. We need to use the Sword of Shannara to defeat Brona once more. But the Sword Vault has been surrounded by a magical barrier from the time the dead first attacked the city. None can pass that barrier, and none can defeat it. Our only hope is that Alanon will arrive soon and find a way for you to regain the sword.
But Alanon's journeying to the northeast. We don't know when he'll get here. We can't just wait for him.
Princess Shella, you and Jack Olmsford seem to be the pawns of destiny against Brona this time. Do whatever you think is necessary to regain the Sword of Shannara. I have vital business with the Parliament for most of the day, so you will be on your own. You must forgive me, for I must return to my duties. I will speak with you both later.
His Majesty has given you permission to wander through Tyrsis unescorted and unsupervised. I suggest that you refrain from random pilferage and destruction. Leave that where it belongs. Looting is not permitted.
What is that thing? It looks like a wall. I was here with my father when I was a child. He told me how he and Hindle rushed down here to close the passageway that led to this cellar. When they got here, Stenman's men burst up through the trap door on the floor. My father has no idea how many men he killed that night. It took all his strength to seal off the trap door before more soldiers could enter. Suddenly Hindle called his name, my father looked up, and saw Hindle collapse to the floor, dead. My father ran to Hindle and held him. He couldn't believe that Hindle was dead, until the mace slipped from his hand. Then Father heard a sound behind him. It was Steinman trying to escape up the stairs. Before my father realized it, he had grabbed Hindle's mace and raced after him. Steinman died in this room at my father's hand. And I thought my father had a big library. This is amazing. Doesn't that look like a picture of Brendel? The caption says this is a drawing of Hindle. Do you suppose they were related? There's certainly a resemblance.
I trust you two found the library satisfactory.
What is in that locked cabinet in the library?
Locked cabinet? Oh, the one at the back of the room. That has been locked for some time. I believe it contains a book that belonged to the former advisor of the king's brother. It contained some references to magic, so it was locked away. You needn't concern yourselves. I have far more meaningful tasks than playing librarian for the two of you. However, I do not believe that there are any books referring directly to magic, other than the one locked away. That book is considered to contain dangerous information, and so was concealed from prying eyes, even those of would-be heroes.
That means we'll be hanging around disturbing you for a long time.
I suppose you think threats will make me open that cabinet.
It's your choice. If the book does help, we'll be out of here all the sooner. Otherwise, we may be here for a long while.
Very well, I shall open the cabinet. I only hope the book is every bit as dangerous as it is reputed to be. There now, I hope you are quite satisfied. Now, I'll return to my work, which is not to run errands for the two of you. He was before my time. I know only that he was a traitor, and that he murdered the former king of Tarsus. Secret passages in the throne room? Ridiculous. Such a thing would be a danger to the crown.
The secret passage was known to Stenman, and he did endanger the crown.
Indeed. Well, I assure you that no one has used that so-called secret passage since his time. The king is in the city discussing matters of grave importance with the Parliament. He has no time to waste. As there is no one currently within the throne room for you to disturb, go right ahead.